Hello Papua New Guinea and welcome to another episode of Coca-Cola Sports Scene. I'm coming to you from the Royal Papua Yacht Club. Later on I'll have a chat with PNG born and former Wallabies captain Will Genia. But we'll start off however with international news. Now the Peppers, they had a loss over the weekend to Singapore. From reports that I've received, they were struggling with goal shooting. Shows they missed a little bit of services from goal shooter Theater Baldwin. But in great international news, our PNG hockey team, both the men's and women's, had great wins against Samoa. Now they left last week Friday, I think it was, and they traveled over to Fiji. So full credit to the PNG hockey team. Both the men's and women's have beaten Samoa by 4-1 respectively. Now in PNG Games news from last week and the week before when we were over in Leh, they had a bit of an issue with gold medals, medals apparently being wrongly marked and awarded to the different swimmers that took part. So more on that story, we'll try and follow that up with Hotspot on Thursday. But however, we had a chat with Deepak Patel, who is the head coach of the PNG Barramundis, and he had a lot to say about the boys' performances overseas, including the Cricket Blooming program.
Look, yeah, we've only been back probably about sort of 6 or 7 days after the Barramundis in Lismore, so yeah, it's nice to just catch up with our sort of next tier players, so our A players and under-19s who are preparing for the qualifiers for the World Cup in New Zealand in February. So it's a case of just working out a program that keeps these guys developing their skills as well. Violence against women, fantastic achievement to be even to admit it, that it happens. Secondly, to make people aware of the fact that we need to do something about it. Yeah, it has to start somewhere, and I'm so pleased that Cricket PNG have taken the initiative, and let's hope that other organisations take the same stance, and that we need to address it first, admit that it actually does happen, and it's for the rest of us to make sure that we follow through with it, and we educate people that it's not the right thing to do.
So under this program, we basically have 5 other small programs under the Cricket Ball Getter. We have the Disability Cricket Program, the Women's Cricket Program, Multicultural, Traditional, and Village Cricket Program. So under the Disability Cricket Program, that we commemorated the International Disability Day yesterday. Through the Disability Program, there's 2 things that we want to bring across the community. One is to change the way of how communities think towards the disabilities, and the other is to change the way how disabled person think about him or herself, to stop discrimination always. So through this disability program, we also want to encourage disabled people to forge friendship outside of their family members, also for them to have more confidence, build more confidence, and to be more independent, and also to build leadership traits or qualities through that program, so they can make change or make a change in our society or contribute meaningfully to our society. That's basically what the disability program is all about, but using cricket as a tool. And also through the disability program, we're trying to identify talents, and one day we can have a national disabled cricket team for PNG. So that is why we commemorated the International Disability Day, which was under our disability program for Cricket Ball Getter.
Now coming up after the break, I have a chat with Lorraine Genia and her brother, rugby superstar Will Genia. It's really exciting to be there.
I had quite a tough year this year in terms of highs and lows. I mean, obviously, I was lucky enough to play my 100th game for Queensland this year, and that was quite special. We got a good win, and then after that I had to have surgery on an ankle injury, which put me out for 3 months, and I think since then sort of struggled to get my body fit. So it's a funny one where finally now it's the end of the season, my body's back to full fitness and we're not playing any games. So, but I guess it makes me quite sort of hungry and pretty excited moving into next season. And as I said, look, I've been lucky to have been with the Reds now for quite a long time, and next year's coming on 9 years, so we're looking forward to a big season.
Now, within the Reds team itself, obviously Quade Cooper is one of your closest pals in the team. How is that relationship?
Yeah, really good. I've known Quade since I was 14, 15 years old, and we've played rugby with each other since we were 15, so there's obviously a really strong bond in terms of us as rugby players on the field, but also off the field. Being a professional rugby player, you spend every day, with each other, whether it be in Brisbane or when you tour the world. So you get really close and you form good sort of mateships. And yeah, we're good mates, and I've also got other good mates in the group. Guys, I was really good mates with Aidan Tor, who recently just moved to France to play rugby union. So we're lucky in that we do what we love for a living with our best mates all the time. So.
One of the things I've noticed is your hair's growing.
Yeah, something different. I'm actually having a baby next February, so the one thing I said is I don't want my baby to come out and think I look old, so apparently I look really old when I shave my head. Sport in general and rugby in particular can be used as a vehicle to promote the right messages, whether it be through lifestyle, society, and a good example is, say, women's rugby. I think Australia's done really well in that you don't really refer to it as women's rugby, you refer to it as just your rugby players. You turn up to rugby training whether you're male or female, and I think as a society here in PNG, I think that's the step that we can take. You can start, realise the importance of females' responsibilities in the world, as opposed to just thinking of them as, okay, so now they're a female rugby player. They're just a rugby player. It's like people in the corporate side of things, in the corporate world, So I feel kind of strongly about that as well. But I think as far as rugby, using sport as a vehicle, I think I quite enjoy it for promoting good messages like education, like living the right lifestyle, eating well, being healthy, those sorts of things. And at the same time, it keeps kids off the street. It keeps I guess, kids doing the right thing as opposed to going out there and stealing and looting and doing things like that.
There is a lot of potential in women's rugby. I mean, just looking at the Palai's recent success all throughout the year, stepping up from the Oceania Sevens, and then later on the Gold Coast National Sevens, coming out cup winners, and most recently the Coral Coast Sevens. There is a lot of potential. But then it all comes down to the development of women's rugby. And as I was saying, perhaps Will can comment on how important the development of rugby is in communities much like here in Africa.
Well, I think sport in general and rugby in particular can be used as a vehicle to promote the right messages, whether it be through lifestyle, society, and a good example is, say, women's rugby. I think Australia's done really well in that you don't really refer to it as women's rugby, you refer to it as just your rugby players. You turn up to rugby training whether you're male or female, and I think as a society here in PNG, I think that's the step that we can take. You can start, realise the importance of females' responsibilities in the world, as opposed to just thinking of them as, okay, so now they're a female rugby player. They're just a rugby player. It's like people in the corporate side of things, in the corporate world, So I feel kind of strongly about that as well. But I think as far as rugby, using sport as a vehicle, I think I quite enjoy it for promoting good messages like education, like living the right lifestyle, eating well, being healthy, those sorts of things. And at the same time, it keeps kids off the street. When I first sort of started playing, we used to go back, and there was a nines tournament we used to play in, which is illegal. I wasn't allowed to play, but we went back and we played because we loved it. It's where we come from, where we grew up. So, and you see the talent that's out there, and the kids, they love it. It's a passion as much as it is for them as it is for myself. And it's like anything in Papua New Guinea. You go and you see kids pick up a ball, pick up a cricket bat, whatever it is, and there's an incredible talent and a love for sport. So to see it sort of developing where we grew up and where we come from is pretty special.
Or see where the red flag can go.
To be honest, if I had it my way, I'd love to. I would absolutely love to. I mean, we actually had a team meeting in Wallaby camp just before we came back, and we had to write down on a piece of paper where we came from, our family, where our parents still live, married, if you have kids or whatever, things like that. And one of the questions is, where do you call home? And I think to a lot of people's surprise, I said I still call Papua New Guinea home. So if I ever had the opportunity and it was ever possible, I would absolutely love to.
And we wish Will Gani all the best at the 2015 World Cup as he represents Australia. After the break, we catch up with Rafaela Kare, and she had a chat with the parents of Abigail Tere-Apisah, Kolam and Vera Tera, as they departed to America for their daughter's graduation.
Thank you, Jeremy, and I'm here at the airport with Mr. and Mrs. Apisah before they head off to America to meet their daughter, Abigail Tere-Apisah, that will be graduating end of this month.
Very excited, not only us but the girls down in US. Yeah, it's been 4 years since all his personal commitment and funding and all that has now come true. What we wanted Abby to achieve is not only in her career as a tennis career, but most importantly her education in the US. So the day has almost come here. On the 17th we will be proud parents.
Now, Bear, just switching across to you, just very quickly, you must have, what was it like bringing the both girls up? Because I know that they're both very, very good, in particular Abigail.
Well, it was difficult because, as a mother, I had to get them organized to, bring them down to tennis when they were young, getting on the court coaching and trying to feed them. And so, but, I managed to get them through, and to see one of them coming through this time, it's a great achievement.
Well, going back to you, Kolam, now there have been issues in terms of support for Abigail overseas. It has not been easy.
No, and really correct. You are correct there, because it has been always funding has always been a problem with all the athletes overseas. I remember when Tere-Apisah got on the radio, on the EMTV about a few years back, and really put out the same situation she felt when she was in the US, that funding has to come from the PNG government or some source where helps all these overseas players. And personally, for me and my wife, the two daughters are away in the States. It has been a struggle for us all these years up to now. And all of the PNG people out there, you probably heard about the girls, but you don't know what the sacrifice the parents put through without the help that should be coming from sources where it should be funding from. It's not. So the last 8 years that Abby has, 3 years in the States, 3 years in Sydney, and then 4 years in the States, it's been a struggle for us. And to go to sources where funding should be sourced from, and being told it's all personal, it's nothing to do with this and this, gives me the shit, because that is not right, because these girls are representing PNG. And there are friends out in PNG that assist us. There's a few that help us, but they shouldn't be helping at all. It should be coming from say, because they're tennis players, it should be coming from PNG tennis. Should put some more effort in it to source funds to help these girls.
I'll just cut you off. How much support has come over the years from PNG tennis?
Well, personally, it should be zero, because the last 8 years, Abby has not received 1 cent from PNG tennis. And when Marcia left for US in the last 2 years, we have to pay the airfares, the insurance, the taxes, all these are from our own pocket. So we go out and fundraise to do that. And to go and ask for funding and being told all those costs are personal. Well, that's giving me the shit, because it's not right that we suffer, but we make an effort to continue doing this. We don't give up, and because we don't give up, these girls know that they need to work hard to achieve what they want to do. And it's not only the Abby and Marcia, there are kids out there who suffer in the same boat. That parents are putting up their own money to sacrifice themselves day and night to help these kids overseas train for and represent PNG and win medals for PNG, and that's not right. So where can we go when you're told you do it yourself? Well, that's not right.
Now, Bara, for yourself, speaking on behalf of the girls, it must also be very frustrating for them as well.
Yes, yes, but I don't like to think about it. As a parent, all we want to do is support our children, invest in them for their own futures. And if the PNG government or anyone who should be involved in tennis doesn't come through, so what? That's life. We as parents can go through it, and if we make it, we make it. And today we are very proud because we are attending her graduation. And there's a special friend that I'd like to thank, Mr. George Lay, that has come out to, fund our trip.
Now, just switching back to yourself, Kolam. SP Brewery has also come on board. They've given a 1 million kina sponsorship to 10 athletes. Your daughter is one of those.
Yeah, we've been asking around and planning to have a fundraising ourselves. And then when that came through, it's a great thank you relief for us. That SP Brewery, thank you SP Brewery, and Stan Joyce, this little girl, when you were not a SP Brewery, she was the one you went ahead and tried to support. And thank you SP Brewery for the SP award that she won the Women's 2014 award. That's a great help, thanks to SP Brewery. And now this 1 million to 10 athletes in the for 2015, and Abby is one of the three that is already selected for this, and it's a great help for us parents especially. And that will bring that will help a long way for 2015.